Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. We're swinging into our, New Year's tradition.
We are creating a series of list videos encompassing the best, the most disappointing games of the year.
We've covered a lot of things this year, hundreds of videos.
And we're hoping to do some recaps here with some lists at the very end of the year, starting the new year, starting fresh.
Hey, last year we did 5 videos on a single day, all top 5, top 10s, looking forward to biggest disappointments of, you know the hierarchy. Here's the thing, we're going to be doing that across the next week with a full series. So today is the best of 2021.
Yes, hit like, subscribe, join us for this series and stuff.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be the biggest disappointments. Over the weekend, we're going to talk about 100 games we either chose to keep or get rid of. We're swinging into most anticipated next year, moving into the new year. That being said, let's start. So we both have 10 games. We own a lot of them, although some of them I couldn't find around the house when I was looking.
We might have some overlap. We have not talked about our list.
No,
we have done
we
a couple questions like, hey, do you know where this game is? Do we own it? But we have not gone over our lists with each other.
And I believe we had thicker lists because the idea is the best that we've experienced of 2021. But then we narrowed those down to 2021 titles taking hierarchy. And I believe everything except maybe 1 or 2 have all been released this year.
All of mine have been released this year.
And that's also, for the record, true for the biggest disappointments tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
Shall we go? You first?
Let's get started. You want me to go first?
Go
all
first.
Right. I'm going to start with the one game that I don't have on hand because I don't have a copy of it yet. Only Alex does. This game has blown my mind.
What are you getting at?
This is going to be from BoardGameTables.com.
Really?
Ghosts of Christmas.
Really? You are... Wow.
We played...
I didn't even think to include it because it's so recent.
We played 5 hours of it over the weekend. This is... I absolutely despise trick-taking. It is my least favorite mechanic. I oftentimes will give a game a 3 or a 4, even if it's an amazing game, because of the nature of trick-taking. Ghosts of Christmas is the best trick-taking I think I've ever played.
Yeah. You are having 3 consecutive tricks happening all at the same time.
You get more information across the course of the game.
Yeah.
It's not a blind bluff.
Yeah.
It is a puzzle that you're tactically solving with trick-taking as the mechanic.
Yes, and you are trying to predict how many tricks you're going to win. So it's not that you were dealt a good hand, it is that you are figuring out how to play your hand.
It's clean, elegant, easy to teach, and so grows with the game group that you're playing with. The dynamic of the game state, while the rules don't transform, the puzzle we're solving, it's brilliant. It is the tail end, caught me by the wind, fish hook through my mouth. I love it. I think it's a 5 out of 5.
I would have put that on games that surprised me this year because you don't like trick-taking.
Yeah, I mean, it would have shocked me, but it had to be here.
All right.
So, starting with and these are in no particular order.
Luna Capital.
By DeVere Games.
Does this make your list?
No, it does not make my list.
This was your favorite game walking away from Gen Con.
This and another game.
And another game.
And the other game makes my list.
Other game makes my list as well. Luna Capital by DeVere Games. This is a very, very fun puzzle, resource management, tableau building. You're developing the moon. And it's a blast.
It's all about tactical tile placement and point scoring.
Yeah.
You're taking cards to build out your grid. You're then taking tiles that go onto those cards to score when it comes to placement and adjacency and different types of scoring conditions. It's quite lovely. The best in the genre of Cascadia, Verdant, Calico.
I'm so surprised it was not on your list.
It was number 11 and got removed moments before because we had to do 10.
Yeah.
This game's awesome. I'm very happy to see it on your list. I think it perfectly deserves to be there.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, let's do a game that I don't think most people have their hands on yet.
Correct.
Caesar by PSC Games. This is going to be for the follow-up on Blitzkrieg, and this is everything it says it is. It is Conquer Rome. It's a tactical war game in 20 minutes.
It's 2-player, head-to-head. You are placing down these tokens that have a line down the middle with 2 numbers on each side, and you are determining the control in 2 different territories at the same time. You're usually sacrificing in one to gain control in the other, trying to figure out which bonus token you want the most, whether you're going to close an area but you won't get control and let your opponent get control. It's very, very
We've really enjoyed it together.
tight. Yeah.
We really have. I mean, it's been a fantastic puzzle for both of us to engage with.
I'm glad you included it.
Yeah, I think it should be here. Now, it was available at PAX.
Yeah.
Only at PAX.
Because they got like a shipment in.
Like 200 copies.
Yeah, very
few. So
few.
it counts for 2021, but most people will be getting it in 2022.
All right. Well then.
What are you grabbing?
Since we have to talk about this one
This is a very long extended grab. Okay. Good Games Publishing, Land vs. Sea. That's going to be on my list as well. One that I thought we'd have crossover of. A amazing tile-laying game where you're trying to solve the puzzle of how do you screw over your opponent as much as possible.
You are trying to enclose these different areas. You're either trying to enclose land, you're either trying to enclose sea, or if you introduce a third and fourth player, which you can, 4 players play on teams, a third player actually does...
I liked third quite a bit, not too compelled by 4.
Yeah. 2 players where I find it the best. There are a lot of different modules you can incorporate with different point scoring objectives that you can do besides just scoring the land and the sea, which takes it to a whole nother level. This is deceptively intense and deep and strategic.
Yeah. I was absolutely shocked by this game. I underwrote it when I first started pulling it out of the box.
Same.
Lovely. Land vs. Sea deserves to be here. Let's talk about another game that, if you told me that a game designed by Stonemaier,
a roll and write game.
A roll and write game designed by Stonemaier during the pandemic to be a free print and play for people that were locked in their houses was going to become one of my best games of the year, I would have told you no. If you'd then showed me the box cover and said that there was enough popular demand that he decided to print it, I still would have told you
no.
No, I don't think so. Then I sat down to play this. I should not like Rolling Realms. It is weird, it's disjointed, the lore doesn't really tie together, it's every game, it's like the perfect marketing package ever, because it's every game on every roll and write card, and you're playing a little bit of their mechanics to do your own puzzle. But man, is it a quick, simple, modular system that's super fun to play, has really well integration, it really ties to other games that I love. I'd go so far as to say Rolling Realms is the best game Stonemaier has released in a while.
Wow.
I mean, it is really...
That's very high praise.
It's really, really good. If you have not tried, have written it off, and haven't picked up Rolling Realms yet, I don't know what to tell you. Solid solo mode that compels me to continue diving back in, and fantastic multiplayer mode. For roll and writes, the only thing that beats it right now is Cartographers, and that's just because it's an art project and super thematic. If you get down to straight mechanics, this is my favorite straight mechanics-wise.
Really?
Yep, hands down.
You're going to have to teach it to me. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
What?
Yeah.
It's just been Alex and me then.
Yeah.
Interesting. We grab it while you're not around.
Yes.
Okay. We save the best things for when she's not.
All right.
You know.
One where you're going to disagree on, Cascadia. So this is another tile-laying, point-scoring game that came together around the same time that we got Verdant and that we got Calico. And we've done comparisons among all of them. This is the one that was actually released in 2021, and this is probably my favorite of all. I love the theme of the animals, I love the artwork, I love the point-scoring mechanisms, and Jesse disagrees with me, so it makes me like it all the more.
That's fair. I still would play it with you, but nothing's continued selling.
You find it disjointed. You find it.
You and Alex love it though.
Yeah, and it gets better every single time.
Yeah, it's interesting tile laying, and I think the point scoring, kind of the variable nature of the point scoring, is something that compels both of you. Let's talk about the one that I cheated on. Why did I give myself permission to put Mythic Mischief here on this list?
Because you're a duck and you like to cheat on these lists?
It's not actually released. It's not available to anyone. It is coming next year, and it should technically be on Best Prototypes or Most Anticipated, but here's the reason why I've kept it on this list.
I can guess. Because you have continued to play it despite the fact that it's been a prototype. You have taken it out again and again, time and time.
For me, Mythic Mischief is in my collection. It's not in everyone else's collection yet.
Yeah.
But this prototype has continued seeing plays on and off camera since the campaign has ended. Completely arbitrary of and not connected with the campaign at all. I just think this game is absolutely fantastic. As a 2-player head-to-head or a 4-player sprint to the end, 3 is always kind of the weird spot. Yeah. It's a little quirky, and I'm waiting for kind of balance tweaks. I've got the solo mode downstairs. I haven't ever covered the solo mode. I'm still like waiting to sit down and have a little bit of time on an evening to dig into it. I'm going back to this game. This game is part of my collection, and I got it in 2021. No other prototype has sustained like this one has.
All right.
All right. The Great Wall is apparently one of the best games of 2021,
we
both agree on this.
Yes, and we have multiple boxes of it throughout the house because we both sent each other on a quest to find these game boxes.
Well, it's Awakened Realms. They send you minis and expansions and other modules.
Oh, this game, with this expansion specifically, is Black Powder.
You should get to the point where you're playing with the Black Powder expansion. That's the one big caveat I'll give you, because we didn't love it as much as we did.
This increases the thematic element, ties the wall and the combat in much more succinctly, and it is so magnificent.
Yeah.
It's a fighting game, combat game, where you are constructing an army, upgrading resources and your troops, and cooperatively and competitively trying to hoard off the invaders.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It's just a remarkable production from Awakened Realms. And I like the quality of production combined with a Euro game makes me feel giddy when it all gets to the table. Love the Great Wall. It was in my top 10.
Yeah.
Had to be here. Let's keep swinging down. Let's talk about possibly the best game of 2021. You haven't played it yet.
Isn't this whole list top games 2021?
These are the best games of 2021.
Oh.
This, and I'm not 100% sure yet, but I am really, really, really feeling like my gut says this is the best game of 2021.
Is this going to challenge your top game of all time?
No, it's not challenging my number one of all time. Will it end up in the top 5? Probably. It is probably kicking something out.
I know what it is already at this point. It's Mind MGMT.
It is.
And I have not had a chance to play it. You are correct. This is actually on my list of games that I want to play in the new year.
Mind MGMT. We got a chance to preview and prototype this back when it first hit the market, and we were excited about it then. It was a really cool head-to-head 2-player system that we'd never experienced before, and now, with it finished, with the production quality done, with the option to write on all the tokens, like the prototype couldn't do 30% of the cool stuff the finished version of this game does. Mind MGMT is not only a surprisingly functional 2- and 3-player hidden movement game with incredible artwork, great attention to detail and thematic overtones, and insane production. It also self-balances itself as you play, because if you continue to play the same role, you have these packages that you open that change the nature and the state of the game. So mind-blowing. And then alongside of that, it's just an incredible puzzle. It just is. It is. I cannot comprehend the mind that went into, or the minds that went into designing this. I mean, this is going to be designed by Jay Cormier and Sen Foon Lim, and published by Off the Page. And I really believe, and you can quote me on this, I think Mind MGMT is probably my game of the year.
Really?
I think it has to be. I need to play everything more.
Yeah.
But when we're sitting here and I'm looking at all the stuff that I've collected, all my top 10 from this year, this is the one that not only stands out, does something new, is beautiful, is thematic, is like I would play with anyone. And if anyone sat down and played this with me, and they looked across the table and they said, I hate it, or I don't like it,
they'd get
I either taught them wrong or we're never playing games together again.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, Sam. It's over. What do you want?
Okay. High expectations.
Mind MGMT. This game might, be the reason we break up. We'll see. If she doesn't like it, we're going to have to search for new partners.
All right. That's intense.
You're never playing it now, are you?
I don't know about that anymore.
It's too big of a risk.
Destinies by Lucky Duck Game.
Oh, it's so good.
This is an app-driven, open-world exploration game that is still competitive. You can play it at 1 player, you can play it at 2, and you can play it at 3.
I like it best at 2.
Yep.
And you're liking it better at 1.
1 and 2. I like it at 2, but 1 because there's an app that accompanies it, I don't feel like I'm just stuck in my head. I feel like I'm interacting with someone else who's electronic. And that's the best types of interactions there are.
This is probably currently my favorite integration of an app-driven system in a board game. Destiny's is on my list. I covered up my list over here. Destiny's is on my list. Lucky Duck did something amazing with this game. I'm really excited to see what else they come out with Divinus coming down the road. The thing with Destiny's is, at 3 players, you have to approach it the right way.
Yeah.
You have to understand that there's going to be conflict and cross-pollination.
With your goals, yes.
Which sometimes can lead to bad playing experiences.
Yeah, it can lead to one person surging ahead if they are not having competition for their goal, and the other 2 people are directly competing for their goals.
But with a storytelling, app-driven game, we both want to play through it solo.
Yeah.
But you and I want to go head-to-head on some of these missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's something we've been planning to do, just waiting for the world to settle down a bit.
Oh, this one is magnificent. This was not on your list?
No, that is. That's on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sitting right here.
I'm like so surprised.
I'm running out of things that I have that are on my list, though. So this is the last box from my side, if that indicates anything.
Oh, I still have 2 boxes.
Oh.
Vagrant Song.
A game that I think shocked a lot of people. I did the video back saying that it sold out day 1 at Origins, I believe.
It was Origins.
No, was it Origins or Gen Con?
Origins in Columbus. I guarantee you it was Origins.
It was one of those 2. Origins is the one Alex went to, right?
Yeah.
It was Gen Con.
It sold out at Gen Con?
Sold out day 1 at Gen Con.
But
They didn't even have it available except for some reviewer copies.
At Origins. Oh, you're right, because we went all the way into that back massive room. I'm wrong.
Vagrant Song is a weird, twisted fable about a bunch of people that get lost and stuck on this mysterious ghost train and have to fight their way through. It's a boss battler, dungeon crawl in some ways, a little bit more than Townsfolk Tussle or KDM would be. You're sort of exploring through this region, hitting events and scenarios as you play. Really great production overall, really strong thematic overtones, and the only thing I haven't done so far is started a solo full campaign gameplay on the channel. We just haven't had time yet, but this has been sitting kind of on the sidelines after I got through the first few scenarios as it didn't surprise me at all when like 2 months later everyone got their hands on it and everyone started talking about it. It's still up at the top of the BGG like hot list. Vagrant Song is remarkable. It's beautiful. It's the perfect type of game for me.
I'm getting concerned because there's a game that I left off my list because I knew you would include it on yours and you haven't mentioned it yet.
Well, if we don't have it,
we can
get to the end and you can say what it is. I'd be curious.
And so I'm very, very concerned. Okay, this is Meadow.
I think my list is done except for one more game.
Yeah, that's why I'm worried because I can see your list from here. All right. This is Meadow by Rebel Studio. This is a really, really pretty art game, tableau building, point scoring, and I find it a gem. It's by an indie publisher, and it was, I think, my first solo unboxing on our channel, and I love how pretty it is, and I had to include something gorgeous on this list.
Absolutely beautiful.
And I like the mechanics.
Yeah, the mechanics are solid. I like it 2-player. Alex didn't like the game at all, which is fine. He doesn't have to like games. I think Meadow is lovely. It didn't make my top 10. It's one where we're not quite syncing up on. I think it came down to the mechanic choices in the game for why it didn't make my top 10. I love this game because the mechanics are solid and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The beauty of it. Everything else.
I love how you're given a grid and you lay down your choices and you're choosing cards either from across or from down.
Yep.
And you can't duplicate throughout that round. I really like it.
Yeah.
I think it's tight. I think it can be mean and punchy. And it's also very elegant. Pretty.
It's lovely. We need to sit down and play it again. You mentioned, like, 2 or 3 days you were like, let's play Meadow. And then we just never got it to the table.
You have nothing more on your side?
Get Unsettled up. It's gotta be here.
I can't reach it.
Orange Nebula put out
right.
a gem of a cooperative puzzle this year. Unsettled is maybe... I mean, look at how unassuming this box is.
Oh, it says nothing about the
It doesn't need to advertise
on the inside.
itself at all. This is a cooperative spacefaring puzzle with weird, twisted expansions that distort the whole nature of your reality and make you question how you can ever win the game.
It makes you question your teammates. It makes you question your journey, your goals, your everything. It is so convoluted, and it makes it so great.
I'm really excited to dive back into this.
Is this on your list?
This is on my list. Yeah, this is one that we got to do a few gameplays early on and quickly. You and Jan and I got to sit down and play, which was a blast. And then since we've moved, both of us need to just go through the rulebook one more time, refresh one more time, and then keep going through the campaign. Because it is every play I've had of this game.
I'm running out of room on my side. It's on your side.
Do you have anything left?
I have 3 more games on my list.
3 more on your list?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Let me just go through to make sure we have like Ghosts of Christmas, Mythic Mischief, Mind MGMT, Destinies, Unsettled, Great Wall, Vagrant Song, Rolling Realms, Caesar, Land vs. Sea. That's my list, right?
Was that 10?
It's gotta be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You consumed my list.
I did.
I got to say like 4 games.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this is now Shira's top 10.
So there's one game that you missed off of your list.
Doesn't matter. Do your 3. We'll talk about it at the very end. At the very end, and we'll talk about why it wasn't on either of ours.
All right. It was not on mine because it was supposed to be on his.
Yeah,
that's why.
She removed it.
All right. These next 3 games, we don't have physical copies of.
We don't.
We don't. And that's the problem.
That's interesting.
Okay. Gollum.
You loved
Cranio
Gollum.
Creations.
You did. And I think it's a thematic and a Euro combination for you that is really selling it.
Yes. Exactly. It is the first Euro that had a thematic integration that I could really relate to, and it just exploded the experience for me. I played it at a weekend gamers retreat that we had. It was available at SN. It was released this year, and it has not been to the US yet.
Some people have gotten some copies of it.
I want it.
Like Alex got one in.
He did?
He did, yeah. So we need to hunt it down. We need to track it down.
Kidnap his game.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
All right. The next game that is on my list is After the Empire.
Okay.
And that is a competitive castle building game. You start out with a castle made out of wood. You are slowly trying to build it up and turn it into stone. You are tableau building, kind of grabbing worker placement, and everyone is going to be facing an onslaught of attackers, and they're going to be using different ways to catapult and destroy your castle. You have to hire people to protect your castle, and you just have to survive better than your opponents and have them die.
It is a lot of fun. It's not near my...
It is a mess.
It's not near my top 10, but it is a ton of fun. The funny thing I think about this one is that it's here on your list, and the reason you don't have a copy is because Jan... really wanted it.
Yeah, and I gifted it to
and
Jan.
You said no for like a week.
I did.
And then finally we're like, we like you, we care about you, you can have this game, and now it's sitting here. We need to get it back, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Not from him, but like another copy of it. Jan?
The last game is Kemet, Blood and Sand. And this is a game that falls into my area control magnificency. It comes after Innis Cyclades' Kemet. And there is a 4th one coming out that is going to be on my most anticipated list for 2022. This was a second version of the first Kemet, and it brought in a whole new expansion of cards. Oh, Kemet. You are building these little pyramids, and you are getting cards which give you powers and abilities and money and resources, and you're either going heavy money, heavy war, heavy defense, or you're finding a combination of all 3. It is so much fun. It is probably my favorite out of all of those, and that's saying a lot. Yeah. All right.
I played Kemet once. I'm not sold.
This is not your genre.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't 100% sold. I don't typically like area control for area control's sake. I am looking forward to the new one. I'm looking forward to keep playing.
It's your favorite one because it has that weird bidding mechanic, and you like that extra mechanic.
I liked Cyclades a lot.
Yeah.
I did.
And I don't know if you've played Inish with us.
I have once. The drafting was not as good as other drafting. What can I say?
But the drafting...
What's the one that is that your whole list?
Yes.
What's the one that you were hoping should have been on mine?
Townsfolk Tussle.
Oh, yes, of course. No, I didn't forget it. First off, I told you could put it on yours.
First off, I was like, he's going to have it on his without a doubt.
Do you know why I'm not?
Why?
For 2 reasons.
People have gotten their copies.
Yes, people have currently gotten their copies. I have not yet.
So you're not including it?
I don't have it. I haven't been able to open up or play the brand new version of it. It's not part of my collection. And I'm going to be doing like 7 videos on it when it comes, like, everyone's going to know I'm so excited about it. It makes sense.
I was like, it has to be on his list, therefore I can take it off and include something that I know won't be on your list.
Sure.
That was why. And then, because this is Quackalope and we don't follow the rules of 10 games, a game that is new to me this year.
Are you doing another game? Yeah. Adding it in?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, a 12.
For me? Is this one for me or is it a different one?
It's for you, and it's for me.
Okay.
A game that is new to me this year, that has been introduced.
It's going to be Bus.
And that has been a pleasure to play and to dive into.
Bus is amazing.
With my best friend in the entire world.
Yeah.
The campaign, the story, the theme.
Yeah,
the
Bus
mechanics.
doesn't have much, honestly, theme or campaign.
Kingdom Death Monster.
Who are you playing Kingdom Death Monster with?
My best friend in the whole world.
You're playing campaign games with Sender?
This has been such a treat to dive into. And
it's been really fun.
I have enjoyed. It has gotten progressively better and better.
We just finished 3. We just sat down for like 4 or 5 hours today, finished 3 new scenarios.
And I know it's not released this year. 1.6 came out this
Kingdom Death, spoiler alert for those of you going to watch the next video. Kingdom Death is on my biggest disappointments of the year.
1.6 did come out this year, so technically I'm following some of the rules. Technically, it is new to me, which is why it's getting an honorable mention at the very end. And yeah, it wouldn't be Quackalope list of top games of 2021 without it.
No, it wouldn't. There's got to be even the ones where we're upset at things. It's got to be on there too. It's Kingdom Death. What are you gonna do, right?
Any case.
That's a video.
Whatever the case.
No.
Whatever you do.
No, there's things popping up.
Remember to
They're literally the links. Here's the cool thing.
Get out and play some games.
The unlisted video
that are popping up right around our heads.
The unlisted video that you're seeing right here, somewhere around here, for the games that aren't released yet. Guess what? You can watch that now ahead of time. There's only 2 things you have to do. You have to 1, subscribe to the freaking channel, or I'll punch you in the throat. 2,
too violent.
Click on the video.
No. Too violent.
And go watch. That was a Philip DeFranco reference.
Quiet.